Bollocks, everything's going wrong. I wasn't ready for this. Oh. Just stay there. So she doesn't care. She's in here, she's not made a noise, she's not looked to look for a calf. Hello. So she needs warm water. I was not fully prepared for this moment. I was not. So, with a cow that's having a calf that is not a Jersey, we'll leave them with them for a little while. We've decided this because any Jersey calves that we're keeping, we don't want to run the risk of any kind of yonis. So what we would do, if that was a Jersey, I would have snatched it straight away and taken it next door and literally pulled it away from her. She wouldn't have even noticed, to be honest. She didn't seem that bothered when she was over there. I don't think she would have noticed. But in this instance, it's not a Jersey calf. So these cows, they're a lot more fragile, should we say, than ours. So I'm going to go and get her some hot water with some like cow drenched drink in it, just to give her a boost. Thank you. Appropriate clothing. I won't lie to you. We dropped the lid down the hole. So what could have been emptying 2 loads has turned into emptying 6 loads. Don't look at him. Just don't look at him. You just get cross. Don't look. Don't look. So. What a day. I'm going to the shops for some sweets and no one can stop me. No one. Oh, I've got like literal cow shit on my pants. It doesn't rain, it pours, honest to God. So we're going on a family trip to get sweets, apparently. Ain't that right? Yeah. So, yeah, that was a day and a half. We've had our first ever calf. So tomorrow we tackle the me being the mum, or Ro being the mum, and the cow going onto the robots, which will be very interesting and feels so wrong compared to what I'm used to. I will not lie to you. I'm on the lane before anybody has a cow about me driving on the phone. Would you look at that? Moving on, baby. Good morning, children. She's very penguin. She just go out the house. With not a lot of, well, one cow to push up, if that, properly. I've been using the holding pen for the bobcat to live in, because it just means that they can't escape when I let myself in. Now, if I go in that main gate over there, they all come mobbing you like very, very naughty animals, which is, I think I kind of expected that, didn't I? Really. So I'll leave that like that. I'm sat on top of the silage bit. I've just pulled the sheet back for Roy. And I never thought I'd say at this stage in the game, we're gonna have some beef, because these cows only eat like the best silage, and yet all of like there's bits of this, elements of this that we don't want to feed them. I'll show you what I mean. So for instance, that bit there, can you see in the, I can't move there, like you don't want to be feeding them that, that's probably alright. Like there are bits you just don't want to be giving them. So the first grab off the top, we're literally feeding to the beef stuff at Roy's dad's house. But going forward, when all the black and white things are sold, we're not going to have anything to feed the crab to. So I think we will probably end up keeping a few, which is not what I thought I'd be saying. I'm in the shed and I'm thinking, what are all the cows doing over here? They're just nosing at the sheep. I'm looking for 192. Have you seen her? I'll tell you something. Cows can undo bolts. So we have the farm insurance inspection today. So I'm just making sure everything is spick and span and clean, and that I have correctly marked where my vermin traps are and what they are baited with. And I know what I'm going to do if a cow is accidentally stuck on the motorway when travelling more than 8 hours. You know, that kind of stuff that you generally do every day. Put this in my pocket because they've undone it with their tongles. How could you ever suspect that an animal like this would be nosy enough to undo a gate? I don't know how. I don't know how. You're literally taking the place to pieces bolt by bolt. I won't lie, it's not ideal. I can now see why Tom Penn got so excited about his dispenser thing. I can also see, wow, I'm yellow. Ooh, oh, I'm a funny colour. Oh, I'm even worse. Oh, better. It's showing all my wrinkles. Yeah, pusher-upper. A pusher-upper. Ooh. A quick one. Someone had commented on the last video I put on saying, just so you know, cows appreciate brushes or something, and it was a bit of an undertone. We have brushes. They're in the shed. They're on a recall. They're going back to Ireland, and some new ones are being delivered, and they were meant to be delivered at the end of last month. So we are kind of just waiting on them, to be honest. But yeah, we did have brushes. We do have brushes. They just can't be put in because they're apparently not working. So this cow's perfectly capable. So I've just left her to it. Oh wow. That is not what I was expecting. Poor man. This is not what I was expecting. Go on, lass, give it a push. Go on, good lass. Good girl, well done. So, in all seriousness, now we have 2 calves. Sort that out in a minute. We have 2 calves that have calves, 2 cows that have calves. So the calves can now live together, which is brilliant. They've calved a day apart. I think I missed it out of, no, it'll be in today's video before this one. So yeah, they can live together and the cows can come across together, which is brilliant. I did feel slightly guilty taking the first one off straight away because it didn't have a friend to live with, and the herd animals, yeah, it just didn't sit right with me. But anyway, now there's 2. So really interestingly, I've just gone onto the Lely system. This, like, it's called Horizon. How unfortunate. the whole post office thing. But anyway, I've just gone onto the Lely system and typed in her number, and earlier today, despite her not being in the milking shed and being up here, it flagged her up as a potential sick animal, because she was laying around more. It said it was to do with rumination, so she was laying around more, she wasn't eating as much, her activity had gone down, and I think it said her body heat had gone up. Well, that's why, isn't it? Because she was due to calve. So if you know how to read it, it's absolutely genius. Only problem is I don't know how to read it quite yet. But you learn, like, this is the only way you're going to learn. This is the only way I'm going to learn how to use and interpret the numbers, is by watching something happen like that. So it flagged her as, you know, potentially sick, even though she obviously wasn't sick. But if I'd have clicked on the calving list, it would have probably shown me a different view. But there's so much information, it's crazy. A lot of the information I would never even look at and never even use. Like, honestly, look at this. Known such nosy cows. I just want to see if it's a bull or a heifer. Not that it actually matters. I need some iodine. So Jersey cows are susceptible to milk fever. It's just one of the things. They are a very heavy, they put a lot into the milk, so you've got to look out. I have only ever had one animal, and I have the video because it wasn't long ago. It was like a 2-year in review on TikTok that has had milk fever. And they basically, from what I experienced it as, they go weak looking, they go a bit pathetic, their ears are down, they're shaky a little bit, they're slightly sweaty looking, they're just not very happy, they don't want to get up, there's no interest in my case it was a beef animal, so there's no interest in the animal that's in front of it. I've got SH1T all over my chin because I've just put teeny tiny titties on, and I have to lean on the bar, which is ridiculous. I'll tell you what, if teeny tiny titties doesn't buck up, it's going to be rearing these calves. I don't know, are you allowed to do that? I don't know if you're allowed to do that. Maybe you're not allowed to do that. I take that back. I didn't say it. You didn't hear me say it. But seriously though, like, that is an option. If teeny tiny titties isn't robot compatible and she's too much of a pain in the ass. I've put many a cow and a calf together. Many. I don't think it would be out of my remit to put them on a jersey. What do you think? I don't know. I'm literally throwing ideas around because I just don't know. Anyway, I'm going to go and give them 2 girls some nuts and some nice warm water. So I'm just giving this cow some warm water. So they love a bit of warm water when they've calved. What's that? Oh, tasty, baby girl, tasty. Oh, are we falling over? So a trough's actually tied up, so she drinks this. Just put a lick. I wanted a lick bucket for these two, but I've always put it in the trough and they're having a Barney over it. Obviously, good lads, good lads. So I want to put iodine on that calf. Bear in mind though, I do not know this animal. She is not my friend. I have no idea what she's like. She's obviously in a new environment. It's all very stressful, so we're going to have to be really, really careful. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my iodine ready and I'm going to open this gate around over the top of the calf, so it's on this side and she's on that side, and then I can stick iodine on it. Look at the moon, it's really cool. Wow. So we are simulating daylight hours in the shed, and look at all the girls up and eating. They're fairly happy. Look at the steam rising from someone in there, isn't it? But light-wise, what are we on? We're on a timer, daylight timer thing. So it's all, sorry, I'm tired. It's all dependent on how light it is outside. So I think it's only about 8 o'clock-ish when it goes dark. Lights come on like this. And then obviously we have extra lights above the feed space to keep this lit, and that's keeping them fed, because they're all happy to go to obviously they're happy to go to here and eat, and also the robots are lit up as well. Obviously quite happy because the milk's still going up, which is absolutely brilliant. I think it's leveled off a little bit now, but yeah, they didn't ail as badly as we thought from the move. So I'm just going to check. I can't actually see though. I'm just going to check the cow that calved, the last one that calved, just to check that everything's okay. In the morning, these cows will be moved. They will go into the milking herd and the calves will go into nursery pens, essentially. And Roy will actually look after them. Roy's more of a calf really than I am, to be perfectly honest. David from Farming Britain tomorrow morning. So I want to get to sleep, but I just wanted to check on this little dotty dot. It's gonna be really strange. I won't lie. Look at me, I look horrendous. It's gonna be really strange. I won't lie to you, separating cows and calves. I won't pretend it's not, because it is what it is for us. It's something that we do not do as a rule. I'm very used to putting cows and calves together. So we have a large amount of afterbirth there. I think I'll take it out. Actually looking for is those absolutely sparkling clean tatas. They weren't sparkling clean. They were just mediocre dirty. Oh God, she's going to eat that. Well, do you know what? I'll get a load of comments saying you shouldn't let cows do that because they could choke on them, but I have never once found a cow that's choked on an afterbirth. Let's be honest, in 20 years nearly of farming, 17 years, never found that to be an issue. These are particularly lacking when they calve because they're putting so much... Oh God. Oh, I thought that cow's head was another calf. I'm delusional. Honestly, I really need to go to bed. That's just gross. So this is a beef shorthorn. It's not a blue like I originally thought when it popped out. Go on, kiddo, stand up. Let's have a look at you. God, it doesn't want to stand up either. Go on, get up. The work than it should have been. Right, go on. I want to see you on. Or somewhere near it. It's not a bad sized calf, is it really? Go on, kiddo. Interesting. Hello, you. No mistaking a baby Angus calf, is there? Look at the size of your ears, man. Size of your ears. Oh, Ian Dinsdale is here, who makes all of our attachments for the bucket and the loader and stuff. Sorry, I look really stupid. I get so pathetic. When it's really, really bright, it gives me a headache. So I've been like this. Yeah. These are not my farm glasses. These are my good glasses. I need to go and find my farm ones. I have some really cheap ones for the farm that I can break. Stainless steel floor. I'll show you on the other one so you can see. The chemicals that the robots use are so corrosive. They rot away the concrete. So you can see, I'm videoing this before it does it because I'm too late in the day. And can you see where it's been wearing the concrete out? Literally like that dark spot there, and this here, there, and that there. Can you see? That is where, get off. That's where it's been literally eating the concrete away already. It's been in a week. So I can see why they recommend us getting these. I have bought myself some clippers. I got them next day delivery on Cramp. So Paul, when he came, had some clippers and he started clipping their tails. But I didn't have any suitable for tail clipping. I only had big, massive, proper big electric ones that you plug into the plug. Anywho, let's have a bash. Ooh. Let's go and see if we can clip some tails. So I've never done this before, so don't laugh at me. Oh, these look so good. Like, amazing. Look at that. It's just to stop any of the concrete eroding. And here, underneath those little shoes, to stop any erosion of the concrete there as well. Because if you watch Richard Wheelwright's videos, you'll see that his concrete eroded and he had to lift them up off the floor. So hopefully, without doing his solution, which was lifting them up on a little chain, those little shoes might last a bit longer on the smooth stainless steel. But yeah, superb fit. It looks absolutely amazing. To be careful that when you're walking through here, it's not slippery. of 3 that have been in, only one of them has actually needed to be milked, and she already has her tail clipped. So I'm just gonna have a wander around and see if anybody that's led about in the shed will stand still and let me do it, because they'll stand still and let me do anything else. So I was just wondering if they might stand still and let me do this. These are my first 2 cows that I've just calved. To be fair, she's not a heifer and she's desperate to go in already. So I'm just hodding them in these back pens. They can't get out unless they choose to jump through there, which is highly unlikely. Well, I say highly unlikely, but it's not impossible, I might say. So really, I just want that cow to shift. Nothing, I'm just letting it go in. It's just literally training it to know where her teeth are. So you just kind of move it around and point it at them. So it's dumping the milk anyway, but it does this first one without brushing her, so it doesn't agitate her. See here, this little bit here, that is this. So it's going into the buckets. I can take her milk and feed it to her calf if I so wish, or I can wash it down the drain. It's just open to whatever you want to do, whatever your system is. Number 1 is going exceptionally well. She's absolutely fine. Number 2, I just was aware that I didn't want her to try and escape through there. So I'm just holding her here. So I don't want anyone else nipping in before her as well, because they're all queuing. Still waiting because the robot where the cow has been in, that's just calved, she'll still have antibiotic tubes in a system kind of thing. So it cleans itself after every one of these has been in, which actually is fairly time consuming, to be fair. So we're just waiting. We're in a queue. We're just waiting. She's desperate to get in, though. She knows what the crack is. So she's a second calver. Look at them. Look at them. Stand there, stand. This is the second one. I don't know whether it's just me, but I think the robot arm moves extra slowly as well when they've just calved. Look how slow it's being. It's being really slow. She's in and it's found her. We just had to reposition again, but she's absolutely fine. She's just stood there being an absolute legend. So I'm just going to take my clippers and go happy clipping again. Or I might scrape up first. Yeah, I might scrape up, and I've just been to Cars for some antibacterial powder, and I might scrape the beds. I don't know what I'm doing. This is the second one, and she's surpassed anything it thought she would, but she's second day in lactation, so she calved yesterday. What about her? You can hear all the milk going in. That's crazy. Let me look what all that milk looked like. That's a crazy amount of milk. That's crazy. Bless her. Bless her cotton socks. So now it's rinsing. It's washing it because she's had dirty milk. Dirty milk. Filter as well, I'm here. Might as well. What's going on? What is going on? I remember the little grey lamb. Oh, you're so attractive. Look at you. Okay. I've left the calves until they're hungry. And the calves are in here. In twos. So, from a dairy perspective, people tend to disagree with this in twos thing because they said it makes diseases and stuff transmissible between them. But just throw it from a different angle. As people who have reared calves for beef, we kept them in the amount of tits on the milk bar. So if there's 5 tits on the milk bar, we kept them in 5s. And we kept them in here. Now, we never had a problem. But with there being so many of them coming through, we're feeling like we've got to, well, I don't know, fit in with the dairy farmers and do it like that. So these buildings here, I've showed you them before. This is just where a couple of pet lambs were. They're sloped. They're in a cool building. It maybe doesn't have the best airflow. That's probably the biggest thing. But we never had an issue. We've never had an issue. The only issues we've ever had is 2 calves with pneumonia. And bear in mind, we've reared an awful lot of them over the years. And they were in the corner pen over there. So from then on, we didn't put them in the corner pen. We just used these 2. And it worked well because you hung the milk bars on the gates. Hence we put these little rails on. All the slobber and crap used to go down straight into the drain, which drained away from the bed. I don't know, they work really well. And I am just wondering to myself now this second when I've just set up a pen in there, why I'm doing it. I don't know why I'm doing it. I'm gonna have a word with Roy. I might undo all that I've just done. Anywho, in the meantime of me deciding life choices, I've just been spreading a straw. And it went in me and it was awful. I am going to get the milk bars out. So we luckily have a milk bar with 2 teats on and they will be reared in 2s. We'll have to get some more milk bars, I think, even though they're fairly expensive, but it's just one of them things, isn't it? We have always reared on milk bars. We found it reduces cross-suckling and as well, it's slightly harder for the calves to suck off the milk so they don't guzzle it down quite as much. And yeah, it was meant to do, if you read the website, it talks about all developing the rumen and all this stuff. We found it was just great for cross-suckling. And you can keep an eye as well on, if they're in 2s, you can keep an eye as well. There's 2 compartments and you can see the milk going down in each compartment, which is why I like the milk bar specifically. Now, we have some from Wydale Plastics for the lambs, and the compartments are so small that the milk went right over the top and you couldn't quite see who was getting the most. So that's just something to bear in mind. But I should probably do this whole thing I'll do a whole thing on calf rearing instead of just me running around saying this is what I'm doing for the day. So I'll get the milk bars out. Get the milk bars out while I choke. Okay. Milk bars. They haven't been touched for a long time. I guarantee I know what's in them. So those calves were last fed late last night before I put their mums across. And I've milked the mum, well, one of them this morning. And what are you making? Something with an axe. It looks incredibly dangerous. No, you don't use axes that way up. Don't be silly. Close your eyes. I've milked her this morning. I put her through myself, so I knew it was her. And anyway, it goes into a specific bucket with her name on, which is great. So I can just pick up the bucket, take it to the calves, and then start to organise putting them on. So it'll be in here. So this is the milk from the cow. It's actually more colostrum. Now, if this was a Jersey, I would not be doing this. So it's only because these are put to a beef bull. There's this thing called yonis. Now, if anyone wants to explain it to me, I'm more than happy to listen. It seems to me, I'm going to do some research on it actually before I put this video out, and then I can properly explain what it is and insert it here. But it seems to me it's like a disease that wastes the cow. Some kind of, you know, immunity disease where the body eats itself, that kind of thing. And it's a really common thing in Jerseys. And I'm really annoyed that I can't explain it, but I've had it explained to me that many times, I don't even bloody know what it is. So it apparently comes out after 3 years old in the animals, and it's transmittable basically through poo and any bodily fluids in the calf's mouth. So if a calf pops out and you nick it straight away and run away with it, and it never touches its mum's poo or its dirty bag or its dirty udder, it's not got a chance of getting it. So that's the management that you've got to put in place. We're also going to blood test for it, so we know anyone that potentially has it. But it only comes out after 3 years old. Sadly, what will have happened to these before 3 years old? It doesn't matter. Like, this ain't it, is it? This ain't ideal. I don't know. I might just go back to how we were doing it. It just seems like unnecessary fuss. Airflow's possibly better, but it doesn't have a tile roof. I always thought the tile roof made a big difference. I don't know. I just think this just looks so clinical. The only bit I do like is the fact that they're on pallets, so they're raised off the floor, so the wet drains away. But in our little system, the Angus is a pain in the ass. In our little system, the floor drained and sloped forwards anyway, so we did lose all the liquid. So there was nothing wrong with it in that respect. They were originally bullpens. Tom, the guy who was in the video the other day, who used to live here, they raised like Jersey bulls. Obviously, we're not going to do that, but they were perfect for calf rearing. They were an absolute brilliant thing. So I don't know how I feel about this. We might change our mind as the day goes on, because the pallets don't fit the pens. They're not actual proper pens, the sheep lambing pens, and cheap ones at that. To be honest, I got them off Facebook Marketplace, which probably wasn't one of my wisest decisions. But yeah, I don't know yet. I don't know. There was a cow to put through, and I said to Roy, I was like, just give me a hand doing this. So I jumped off the bobcat, which is right next to where it needs to be parked. And then I've just got in to move it, and I was like, where's the key for the bobcat, Roy? Where's the key? And he was like, I didn't take the key out. So I found this on the floor, all soaking wet. They bent the key. Pulled it out and bent the key. You know when I said I wanted naughty cows? Maybe not quite this naughty. So I just go and bend the key back before I can move the bobcat. Ridiculous behaviour. Ridiculous. Aviation updates. It's just a little plane. Hello. I had to confirm to everybody that the workshop is not as I would like it right now. There's crap everywhere, and the vice isn't tied down. Dreadful behaviour. Let's have a look, see. Nearly. Beautiful. I think. Just wonder if there's a spare key anywhere. I bet there is. I'm never gonna go and find one. Not that we ever take the key out. I just don't want it to. It's more of an issue if it breaks in the lock, isn't it? I wonder if you can order them. you know. Oh, you are joking. Oh no, don't break it. You assholes! Like, why would you do this to me? I'm gonna just nip to Pygmies and get one cut. And if not, they supplied the machine, so they should be able to have a look at and replace the key for me. Obviously, it can't stay there, but yeah, I have a feeling if I bend it anymore, it's gonna snap, and then we won't be able to move it. So I'm just gonna go and get one sorted. Thanks, Pygmies. I've got a tiny. They had them in stock, thank God. So it did hammer me mine straight, but you know what? In the interest of just in case, I think I might just use the new one and hoy this one away. I think they must all be the same. So I got some chipperellas as well from the chip shop. But yeah, I'm just going to go and move that Bobcat, because I guarantee the seat will be soaking wet, the handles have been pulled off, the pipes will be off it, something will be wrong. Do you know what? I'm surprised if they haven't opened the back door of it and dismantled the engine. Yo, doing? Look at her. Oh, they're naughty. Ooh, I've come in the shed with my boots on. I didn't realise. Oh no! So I did just get a wet bum. I got these from Cramp for the farm assurance thing, and they're so good. Like, literally more for other people to wash their shoes and stuff. Obviously we'd normally wear wellies, and I'm not stupid enough to go in the shed with my boots on.
Hey, what did I just say? He never listens to me anyway, so why do I even waste my breath and try? Then he takes me in his arms while winking at the waitress.
Here!
And off go the alarms. More trouble than he's worth. More trouble than he's worth.
Stop it. It's naughty. So we have decided that this is far too slippery. So I've texted a friend of ours, Angela, her husband, Dean. He does grooving. Oh, it's far too slippy for them in here. And when they're being silly, which these are being very silly, someone's going to end up falling over.